I have said that the AI or current version of large language model is cumbersome and make lots of mistakes. And I say their long-term memory is missing and their judgment is not correct. I'm just doing something fairly detailed case and realizing that. And as I mentioned before, dealing with AI is like in this case at least, parents teaching the kids what to do. But let's look at it. When the parents teach kids, how much is parent correct? And that process of parents and kids are actually, what's the word? Jointly learning process. Kids to learn from parents, but not trust everything. And the parents to learn from kids. How cumbersome this process is. Yet if you skip that, and you may have to skip because they just gather information from any place else. But if you cannot guide their learning, they just develop their own character, and that is bound to happen. And therefore, your programming cannot go through to their programming. So if you look at the situation, like the AI and us, there are various AIs, they are like parents, and there are various kids, like me, using this. I use the ChatGPT and Gemini, and I want to go into the DeepSeek too, because better to have right choice. If you have a kid, you want to have a good choice of your parent, so that you don't have to reprogram what the parents did wrong. And that has a profound implication of both ends. One is the AI's growth and what kind of feedback they get from the user and whether or not they can learn. Even if I make complaints, they seem to not be able to comprehend and integrate in their learning process in the area, at least for my interest, which I think is very vast, without going into detail, but I can give you an example of those because I have the record of it. This is a case of like a lean idea. You just don't trust the top down. You have to see what's going on at the shop floor level. And that triggers what needs to be done. And that's the point I was trying to get the paper done so that the awareness can be integrated in the process of AI development. But again, this is related to our own development. That's very important because if we just trust what comes top down, that's horrible that I have seen in many organizations I visit. And when the top switches the mind and the whole company may collapse basically. I have seen that. I spent 6-7 years and the top management CEO had some weird decision made and killed or thrown away some of the key people, which developed or cultivated this process, including myself, so that the company suffered. So that company, employee, parents, kids, AI, to us, and also company. Those are the interrelationship, interpenetration idea I shared that represent the mini company, mini me idea, mini universe idea. And that's why I'm taking time with patience, just like a kid's dealing with the parents dealing with the kid, in this case, me being the parent, although kids have such a potential and creative idea, but they're missing something. But this equation or the scenario or the situation that I see is everywhere. That's what it is. So the awakening again and again and again is necessary so that you don't get bogged down or get frustrated. And that has to come as much as possible everywhere. Whether that's doable or not is another question, and therefore the history may continue to prevail that failure is necessary for our progress. That's reality. That's what Buddha said. Life is a pain. Life is what's his word. There are four things. Living life is suffering. Suffering has a cause, and there's a way to address the suffering, and something like that, and that's the Four Noble Path or something. And that is applied, and it's everywhere. As Buddha mentioned, this is profound, and people may not get it. That's what he thought when he had the awakening. I'm not saying I'm awakened. Sometimes I may be mini awakening here and there. I can smell something is wrong when it's wrong. And that's how I worked for 40 years with the companies. And now with AI and other things that have going on, life is suffering. But underneath it is the heart. That's what I said in today's and the videos here and there, that it does not go away. Living being has that foundation. So realize that, connect to that, accept the failure difficulties, and move on. Bird is singing and the sky is blue and not much wind. It's a nice day. Instead of working more with the AI, I thought I'd take a break. I have to cut some tree branches out there. Mindless job. Not mindful job. I don't need a full mind. Yeah, that's what happens. I can give you lots of examples of full mind and stupidity happens in so many examples. But we have a way to realign with heart. So be happy, no worries, move on. Thank you.